อุ้ยสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We will start with our first participant, which is Felicia Chen from Malaysia. Felicia.
Good evening, Ajaan. My practice on equanimity is good. I can feel the mind very still and firm. Awareness very clear with wisdom and peace. Thank you for your guidance, Ajaan.
When you are not meditating, you should do death contemplation.
Okay,
Aging, sickness, and death contemplation, asubha contemplation, just to make sure that you don't forget and see how you react to this situation. Should you get sick? Should you die? Or see if you still have any sexual desire.
Okay, good.
Okay, so just to make sure. Sometimes you can be deceived by your delusion, by your defilement, to make you think that everything is under control. So sometimes you have to put your mind to the test. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajaan. Anumodana sadhu.
Okay. Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Just to join the Zoom class, I haven't got any question. Thanks, Ajaan. I appreciate it. Thanks for your teaching, Ajaan.
Okay, we'll go to Relay from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, go to Toronto, to Canada somewhere. I'm not sure where. Jordan, where are you now?
Hi, Ajaan. I'm in Toronto, you're right.
Okay, you're back in Toronto. Oh no, you're in Toronto, but your dad is at the coast.
In Nova Scotia, that's right.
Sailing. Okay.
I'm working with the Asubha images and then contemplating them throughout the day to practice. Working with different kinds of desire that come up.
Good. Asubha or death contemplation is very good to to curb your desire, curb your cravings, and calm your mind, help calm your mind. When you're not meditating, when you're meditating, then you should concentrate on your breath, on the mantra. If you like to use the Asupa images, also can be done. It's up to you to choose which one is best for you.
Okay, well, I'll see if as the Asubha practice develops, maybe I will experiment with using that as an object of meditation.
Yes, you can try different method. The goal is to make your mind calm and peaceful. Not
I noticed
restless.
that. Sorry, I noticed that the Asubha images when I first tried working with them, and I saw them, I found them. It was very intense and disturbing, and more as I look at them more frequently, they don't scare me as much. But I'm trying to connect to a feeling of just trying to see the body as well. I'm seeing the body more as the elements by looking at those images and trying to connect to a feeling of detachment or non-desire
Yes,
towards the body.
different type of contemplation produce different result. With the four elements, you want to see the body as not self, as not being yourself, as being just element. But seeing Asupa, the body is Asupa, is to get rid of your sexual cravings, sexual desire. So it has different purpose in contemplation.
Okay.
But you have to do them all, because these are defilements that you have to get rid of. Whether the self-delusion, seeing the body as yourself, the sexual desire of a body. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So those contemplations, do I have to do sort of focus on one task at a time with whether it's desire?
Usually you have to do it one at a time.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll keep working on that.
This is when you're not meditating. When you're meditating,
understand.
you don't do any contemplation.
Okay,
You do concentration instead. Concentrating on your meditation object to calm your mind, to unify your mind, bring your mind to become one. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, we'll go to Germany, to Claudia. Hi, Claudia. Got your file, your book, and I have sent it to my assistant to upload it to the website. I hope that it will be up soon, and I should let you know. Send you the link.
Good afternoon from Germany, Ajaan. I'm very glad that the translation is completed and that your assistant received it. And I also want to give a big thank you to Kenneth, who did the proofreading. So I appreciate it very, very much.
Yes, here, Kenneth. He's around here somewhere. Just turn on his video.
Yeah, Kenneth was a very, very big help.
Mm-hmm. I
I'm
hope
very
it will
grateful.
be useful to German readers.
I hope so. Yeah. 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 So
And-
today I have no questions. I will enjoy listening to your teachings.
Okay, we got to travel then. Travel. Jordan's dad.
Good morning, good evening, Tanajan. Still in the East Coast, in my little hut. I feel it's sort of kind of like a kuti in a way. I'm in a small, almost like a horse trailer, and it's with a very narrow, uncomfortable bed. And I'm working on this boat in the hot sun. It's not floating. It's still in the parking lot, and but I'm taking your advice and trying to incorporate meditation into every day. I particularly am having success in the mornings, and it's the best part of my day. I must say it really is. And I thank you very much for your advice and your guidance. And I'm hoping to do more meditation more frequently throughout the day. And setting up a sort of a reminder system for myself to do that, because that's the difficulty for me. I just forget. But when I do sit down and in my little hut and meditate, I do find it's the most. It is really very beneficial. And
Yes,
just with that, I'll shut up now and
Yeah.
listen to the teachings.
that's good. What will help you improve your meditation is practicing mindfulness during your activity, whatever you do. Should try to focus only on what you do. Don't let your mind go somewhere else. This will help you when you meditate. It can help you calm your mind quicker and easier. So when you're not meditating, when you're working, try to focus on your work only. Don't let your mind go think about some other thing. And and if it's possible not to think at all, you can work on things that you don't need to think, like just eating, walking, sitting. This you don't need to think. This will help to calm your mind before even you meditate.
I will try that. Thank you. I'm going to write that down. Thank you very much.
Okay, good.
Do that, and blessings to you, and thank you so much.
You should set up a schedule for your meditation. Say, what time do you want to meditate? Like eating, you eat in the morning, then noon and evening. So maybe you can set up the time for your meditation as well. If you don't, then you probably your mind will find excuses not to do it, because your mind doesn't like to meditate. Not your mind, but your defilement, your love of activity prohibits your mind from wanting to do meditation.
I'm taking notes, and I will follow up and let you know my progress.
Okay, good. Hope
Thank
you
you very much.
succeed. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Lillian from Bangkok. Lillian.
Good evening, Ajaan. Don't have any questions today, just listening in.
You've been away somewhere, or just not have the time to come in?
Yes, don't have the time to come in sometimes, but when I have the time, I'll definitely come in.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good to see you again.
Yep, good to see you too, Ajaan.
Okay, we'll go to Singapore. Coxing from Singapore.
We think Ajaan, no questions at the moment. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Go to Wales. Diana.
Greetings, Tanajan. All okay here. I've been thinking a lot about acceptance and surrender. Acceptance of the characteristics of existence and surrender. I don't know if you have anything to say on them.
If you can accept reality, that's the best thing. Whatever is happening, don't try to change or try to manage it. If you can try to live with what is happening, then you won't have any stress. Stress come up when you try to manage or try to change reality. So just teach your mind to fall in line with reality, to blend in with reality, not to go into conflict with reality. Reality, I mean, what's happening right now, If it's rain, just enjoy the rain. If it's snow, if it's flood, enjoy the flood. Try to enjoy everything that happens. Then you won't have to do anything. The problem is when you don't enjoy, then you want to change things to make it enjoyable to you. And this gets you into a lot of trouble.
It's our opinions.
Yeah, our likes and dislikes. Yeah.
But if we can to surrender to reality,
Yes.
and
Yes.
not let it worry us.
Get rid of your like and dislike, and then everything will be okay. Everything is good in itself. You can do this with meditation. Meditation will help to make your mind to become neutral, eliminating the like and dislike from your mind. And when you see anything, you can merely accept and knowing. The Buddha said, whatever you see, just merely see. Whatever you hear, just merely hear. No need to do anything. Don't need to fix things. Because no matter what you fix, eventually what you fix will change and will fall apart again. Except for those which is essential to your existence, then you might have to do that. If your house fall apart, then you have to fix it. Do only what is necessary, essential to your existence. Otherwise, don't bother. Try to blend in, try to accept them. And you have to do this with meditation. The calmer your mind becomes, the easier for you to accept things as they are. If your mind is restless, not calm, it means your defilement is active, and your defilement has like and dislike. Never satisfied. No matter how much you do for your defilement will never be satisfied, will never be content. You want more or want something different.
I really like that. Just hear what is what you hear and see what you see. Just accept.
Yeah, that's like, and there's nothing to do. When you hear something, whether you like or not, just hear it and let it go. It's already gone. Once it's spoken, it's already gone, right? The word is already gone, but you keep repeating in your mind. You don't let go. I think you become attached to words and of what people say to you. You should let them come and go. They are all transient, right? They come and go. They appear and then they disappear.
Yeah, that's on our side, isn't it?
Mhm.
Helps us really.
Yeah. If you have mindfulness and if you can, when you meditate, your mind becomes still, and you see that everything rise and fall, comes and go, appear and disappear. And when your mind is not calm, your mind keeps clinging to things. Even though they're already gone, you still keep repeating it in your mind. You keep a rerun of the story in your mind.
Mm.
When your mind is calm, still, it doesn't rerun anything. No rerun. Just life. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Mm. Yes. Yes, finished. Over.
Yeah. So practice mindfulness and meditation to still your mind, to stop your mind from running after things, going after things. Things that already disappear, but you still won't let it disappear.
Mm. Yes, much work to do, Ajaan.
Yeah, much work, but it's good work, worth it.
Definitely.
Okay, is that all for you for now?
Thank you.
Okay, go to Vienna, Charlotte. I'm not sure I pronounced your name right.
Yes, last week I visited Ajaan in Thailand.
I see. I see. You're the doctor from Indonesia, right?
Yeah, yes, Ajaan.
Okay. So you managed to find the link and get into the.
Yes, and I have a question, Ajaan. My question: what must be prepared before offering dana so we don't have kilesa in our mind?
So you don't have what in your mind?
We don't have kilesa in our mind. So what must be prepared before offering dana?
When you give something, you have to. Once you give, then you have to let it go. Don't cling to what you give. Don't worry about what the receiver will do to your gift. Okay. You give for the benefit of the receiver. Once the receiver receives it, then it's no longer your business. You want to give in order to open up your heart, to make your heart open, making your mind kind and compassionate and loving to other people. This is the purpose of giving. And you have to give without attachment to what you give. Once you give, don't worry about what the receiver will do with what you give. Sometimes the receiver might not use what you give. That's not your business anymore. Okay. Just give and be happy. And don't worry about what happens to what you give. It no longer belongs to you once you give things away. Okay. This will prevent you from having a defilement coming up. Sometimes people give and they expect you, the receiver, to use it or to eat something that you give. And when they don't do what you expect, then you become sad. So you should give with a pure mind, meaning having no expectation from the receiver. Even a word of thank you or appreciation, you don't expect anything. Because if you expect something from the receiver and when you don't get it, you can become sad, disappointed, instead of being happy. But of course, you should consider before giving the person that you want to give to, whether they are worthy of your gift or not. Whether they are good or not, whether they are in need or not, for instance. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn, for the answer.
All right. Okay. Where are you in Indonesia? Surabaya?
Yes, near Surabaya.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the room.
Yes, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, we'll go to USA, Idaho, Tipo 1.
Good evening, Ajahn Longpo. Please advise me how to make good progress in contemplation by using breathe in out, focus on the nose tip.
When you meditate, just watch the wind or the air coming into contact with your body, which usually contact at the tip of your nose. You want to concentrate or focus your mind at that point only. You don't have to follow the breath in or follow it out. Just stay at that one point. You want to still your mind. You want to stop your mind from moving, doing things. You want to still your mind, because that's what jhana is, absorption. So that's what you have to do. But the problem is your mind doesn't want to stay in one point. It keeps going away, going to thinking about something, So you have to practice a lot of mindfulness before you can meditate successfully. You have to train your mind to stay with something, such as your body. Whatever your body is doing, stay with that. Stay with the body activity. Only don't go think about other things. If you can keep this up continuously, then when you meditate, you'll find it easy to focus on your breath at the tip of your nose. Okay.
I will work harder. Thank you very, very much.
Okay. Go to Philip. And I forgot her name since she hadn't been in for a while.
Adeline.
Adeline, okay. Indonesia, Malaysia.
Ajahn, yes. I don't have any questions now. Glad to listen in. I hope you're doing well.
I'm just coming in to say, because tomorrow is a school holiday, so I have some time to sit here and listen.
I see, good. Okay, good to see you again.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah, go to Kafai Lim from Malaysia also.
Good day to you, Ajahn. Yeah, I have a question today. It's regarding the hip reset and fasting. Because recently I did a surgery, so in the morning I was recommended to drink just lemon juice. So I'm not sure if that considered breaking the once meal a day, something like that. So just want to take your guidance. I couldn't find the details online, yeah, unfortunately.
Well, juices are allowed. They are considered to be medicine. So you can take them any time of the day.
Okay, because I was given a choice between so to speak, prebiotic, those kind of medicine. I say, is there any additional? I prefer something more natural. And the specialist told me lemon juice, just lemon and water, nothing else. That will be fine. So
it's allowable. It's allowable. You can drink juices, orange juice, grape juice, apple juice. Yeah.
Good to know. I have no more questions. Thank you.
Okay. Go to Julia from Sweden. Julia.
Hi, Ajahn. Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of questions actually, but perhaps I can ask a few, and if there is time, I can ask some
Go
more.
ahead. We have quite a lot of time. Go ahead.
The first question is ants. So I have ants, and at some point I was sitting in the chair, and then an ant was, I think it's biting. It's like I could feel that on my toe there was a sharp pain, like from, I think it's biting me. But before I like became aware of it, my right foot went to the left foot and that I think it killed the eye. I don't know, but it was like aiming for it was just like a reflex aiming for the ant. But it was before I became aware of it. So I wonder how I mean, one point of view is, of course, that I just have to be quicker to catch myself in that kind of situation. But it's because it was no intention to kill there, because it was a reflex. How is that viewed upon? Is that breaking the precept?
Well, I'm not sure how we interpret reflex and intention here.
It's tricky.
Yeah. So anyway, if you did it, just accept that this is something you want to avoid or try to. So, and the way to avoid it, you need to be more mindful. If you practice the mindfulness is more intense, then you will be, as soon as you start to react, your mindfulness will know ahead of time and can stop your reaction.
And I noticed there is something a little bit similar with speech as well. That
Yes,
sometimes
everything that we do, it depends on our mindfulness. If we have more mindfulness, our speech and action will be more under control. Without mindfulness, then it will go reacting automatically.
Yeah, but if you notice afterwards that, for instance, something that I said, it must perhaps not a lie, but it was an exaggeration, but there was no intention to exaggerate. It's just like when I think about more precisely what I said, I can see that, okay, this was an exaggeration. So, and then I find it hard to know, like, should I go back to the person and say like this was actually not the case? Perhaps if it's important, I should do that.
Yes, if it can cause any damage and you want to avoid that damage, then you should go and correct it.
Yeah.
But if it's just something that doesn't cause any damage, or you might just let it pass and try to do better next time.
Yeah.
But the Buddha said you have to know before what you say before you're saying it. And to be able to do this, you have to have more mindfulness.
Yeah.
Mindfulness of your thoughts. Because everything comes from your thought. Before you can say anything or do anything, your mind has to think first.
Yeah. And I actually noticed that this happens even more when I talk to, perhaps not to you, I haven't talked to you so much, but to my other teacher. I noticed that afterwards that I seem to be less mindful when I speak to the teacher, or that I'm perhaps thinking about more what I said, but I seem to be not so skillful in my speech when I look at it afterwards, like when I've talked to my teacher. But perhaps it's because
because of your mindfulness, and maybe because of your nervousness or whatever.
Yeah, nervous. Yeah. So
that is
if
the
you are
result of your lack of mindfulness. If you have strong mindfulness, then you can control your nervousness also.
Is there some other way to like avoid being nervous with a teacher? Do you think?
Well, think of somebody that when you talk to, you don't feel nervous, and then use that person to compare to your teacher and say they are the same, they're just person.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I will try that.
If you talk to me and you're not nervous, then next time you talk to somebody and you're nervous, just think you're talking to me.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, okay. And then, so there is a monastery here in Sweden that is in the Thai forest tradition, and it's pretty close to me and so forth. It was established by Ajaan Keng. I don't know if you know him.
From Singapore?
Yeah, from Singapore.
Yeah. Okay, I met him once, yes.
so he got a vision and established this monastery and so forth. So I'm quite interested in. I have been there once, and I'm thinking of like perhaps renting a place close to there, or even like perhaps if I could build like a kuti in the area, or like on their property or so, and cook for the monks there or so when I don't have my daughter. That would be something that it's something that I'm thinking of, like as a way to intensify my practice and avoid like getting into a new relationship and so forth. That it would be, I think, good to strengthen this Buddhist lifestyle to be kind of close to a monastery.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
You think so? Yeah.
Yeah. But
there's a.
The only thing I should warn you is about the cooking things. If you can avoid it or do it to the minimum, better. You want to do more time with meditation. You don't want to lose your time with doing other type of work, unless you really have to. Or you find useful, if you find it help you to meditate better, because you might have more time than you can meditate. So you want to use this time that you don't meditate for dana, like cooking or something.
Yeah.
But if you can use all the time for your meditation, then you shouldn't do any other work.
Yeah. So basically I have like two options. Like one is to be more like close to this monastery, and I think what would help me there would be that there are other practitioners who are also like very serious and practicing the precepts and so forth. I think that would help me to increase my virtue, for instance. But the other option is that I have another place which is very close to a forest, where I'm like completely alone. So I could also be in that place. So that is a place that I already have, and I could be there, and I could be like more like on my own in the forest, which is how many of the monks practice, of course. And I think
would be better. That would be better.
That would be even better. Yeah.
Yeah. So that you can devote all your time for meditation and to be alone and not to congregate with other people. The Buddha wants us to avoid congregating if we can. When we do meditation practice, we should be alone. But people congregate because when they're alone, they feel lonely. So they felt the need to do something together. But if you're the type of person who can live alone, then it's better.
Yeah, so perhaps I should think of this as like the main way forward, to try to be in the forest, and if I turn out to be like alone and I don't know, doubting and this kind of perhaps you can become a little bit crazy also, I think, if you're alone, like it's easier to lose track of reality somehow. Then I could go more to the monastery.
Yeah, you can sort of going back and forth. When you feel you need guidance from teachers or you need some company, then you go and join them. But then ideally you should try to practice alone as much as possible. Because in order for you to advance, you need to be alone, really.
Yes, I'm reading Ajaan Keng's biography right now, and I'm struck by like how completely different the kind of like the Tanga practice that he's doing is. So out there, like compared to just meditating a few hours and going through the Q&As, it's a completely different thing to really live in the forest. And
it's a full-time job, really, meditation.
Yeah.
If you want to become enlightened.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome. I'll go to Brazil, Sao Paulo. Alfredo. How are you, Alfredo?
Hi, Bert. Good.
Okay.
In practice.
Everything okay?
Yes.
Okay. No complaint.
Complain what complain?
Okay, no complaint. Sometimes you complain about your stomach and your body
Oh,
getting
no.
sick.
No, it's okay. Only coxes. It's more or less.
Boxes? Boxes.
Cox. Oh, cox. I break my cox. Cox is the bacia. The bound.
Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I don't understand
Yes.
what you say.
Yes. But the supramundane states is a different states, Bante.
Supramundane means the enlightened state of mind from Sotapanna up to the Arahant. These are considered supramundane state of mind.
The relations of the word is different.
It means that it is something that is more profound, more intense, more happy, more blissful than the mundane type of bliss. And it's also the supramundane state doesn't deteriorate. Once you get it, you don't lose it anymore. Once you become a sotapanna, you don't lose it. But if you on a mundane level like jhanas are considered to be mundane level. You can get jhana, and if you don't keep maintaining it, you can lose it. But not with the super mundane level like Sotapanna, Sakidagami, Anagami. Once you have it, then you don't lose it. You never lose it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's clarifying the mind, man.
Yes.
Yes.
Which level are you on now? Mundane or super mundane?
I try to practice, but the word is not very relevant, né, Bante? It's not very interesting, né? When we practice a lot, the word is second plan, né, Bante? Or no?
Nothing is
I
more
think
important than your practice.
yes, the practice is more important than the other things, né, Bante?
That's right. Because everything mundane, they're temporary. Your practice lead you to permanent, to something permanent, something lasting.
Yes. Yes. I think it is true.
Okay.
Okay, Bante.
Okay. Keep practicing. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Good practice for us.
We'll go to New Zealand now, to Anula and Ramya.
Right. Good evening, Bante and Ajaan. Good to see you. So, no question, but I have a comment that 3 years ago when we visited you,
Yes.
yeah, we got that book, so I started looking at it. It's all about Satara Iddhipada, so all the Dhammas are here.
I see.
So,
Inspiring Dhamma, right?
yes, so even one page is enough for a day to contemplate.
Mhm.
So it's just a comment on that one, no question for me. Yeah.
No question.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Must be winter for you now, right? In New Zealand.
Yes, it's the middle of winter, but it's so hot yesterday. It went up to 16. So
16,
even the middle of the winter, we see now flowers are blossoming.
Yeah.
So it's changed weather. It looks like El Nino is coming up. So all the weather changes.
Climate change, I guess.
Yeah, again, yeah.
The northern hemisphere is experiencing a lot of heat wave right now.
I think we will have something similar in December. So yeah, that's the prediction. Yeah.
That's the consequence of our modern living.
True. Yeah, true. So yeah, I think it's sometimes I meditate in the morning before going back to work. So even now we work harder and we have all the technology, but quality of living has gone down for most of people. People are not happy and struggling everywhere. So sometimes wonder what's the point of all this work.
Because of our people's delusion, they don't know where the real happiness is.
Yeah,
so they seek the happiness through the sensual objects.
Yeah.
Which in turn out to be more suffering than happiness.
Yeah.
We should seek happiness of the mind from practice of meditation.
Yeah.
Once you're happy inside, you don't need much outside. Look at the Buddha. He didn't have any mansion. He didn't have any yacht. Luxury goods, anything. He lived simple. He only have 8 articles as his possession. He has a bowl, a set of robes, and a razor to use to shave his head with, and a water strainer. That's all you need for maintaining life. As a monk, a bowl for baking food. But he's much happier than millionaires or princes or kings. He used to be prince before, but he never went back. Once he became enlightened, he didn't go back to become a prince anymore. That's the real happiness. Happiness from meditation, from getting rid of all your cravings. Once there are no cravings, then your mind will always be contented. We always be contented. As soon as you have cravings, your mind will never be contented. Will always be wanting more and more. So get rid of your cravings by meditation and wisdom. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajaan.
All right. We go to Piao and Indira. Piao's gone. He's coming back.
Good morning from Toronto, Ajaan.
Okay, doctor, you're working, huh?
Yeah, sorry. No, just a couple of questions. I think they are waiting anyway. That's okay. You have a question? Okay. So you said jhana is some mundane, it's a temporary, it can fleet, like it can come and go. But inside, once you gain it, it's there. You know for sure you cannot reverse it. Like it's solid as clear as crystal because you cannot undo it once you see it. Right?
Yes, because you see reality, you see the truth.
Yeah.
From
so there is no way you can go back and say it's something different because you see it.
The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth.
Yeah.
Once you see the 5 khandha as having no self, it's no self. That's the truth.
Yeah.
But with delusion, you see the 5 khandha as the self.
Now, okay, that's a good segue. So 5 skandha as a self you see because of perhaps maybe the perception of solidity. For example, especially this the body or the form, the first skandha, rupa, but the others you can palpate, you can really see it clearly unless in a state of contemplation or meditation. But rupa, you can see your rupa and external rupa. For example, my rupa or a patient's rupa or whatever, or a bottle here or a computer in front of you. But we see as it's solid, so that therefore we cannot see the emptiness nature, because the temporary emptiness, I think you answered this question before, is jhanas, and the permanent or paramashunya is the ultimate nibbana. But in between, but we need to practice as lay people. We see this rupa around us, yours or external. It's seen as solid, perception as solid. How do you see through this, the solidity, like a breaking away, perception of disintegration of this solidity? Is it a contemplation of insight? How do you get about doing that?
Well, you contemplation on death. When body dies, then this body will then dissolve, right? All the parts will go different ways. The water go one way, the air go one way, the wind go one way, the fire go one way, and all that is left is just the earth element.
So the elements becomes a part of the rest of the elements. In other words, just your element is the same as the outside out there elements. So just you to
That's
contemplate.
Right. The body comes from the 4 elements. And when breaks down, the 4 elements then will fall apart, but will separate, go a different way. When you die, the first thing that go away is your breath, right? It's the wind element, followed by the heat or the fire element. The body becomes cold. Then if you leave it alone, then the fluid will start coming out of the body. That's the water element. And if you leave it long enough, then the body will become dry, parched, and just left with skin and skeleton, which if you leave it longer, it will break down, becomes earth.
So in other words, it's a perception of emptiness in a subtle, like a more coarse form. Everything is, although we say as solid, it's really empty. Because of a perception of distorted perception, we see our person, this is me as solid.
It's not solid. It's a combination of the 4 elements, which then create the 32 parts. See, it is solid because it's being blocked by the skin. See? So you have to dissect the body up to see the other part under the skin.
So even is solid.
The Buddha say contemplate on the 32 parts of the body.
That's the body. Even it is solid, like cells. Like say, if you take a liver, there are small cells moving around. It's not solid really. It's their space because it's moving so closely. Even if you take a bottle, because the particles are, because we think they're solid, but the air, say for water, it's or even gas, particles are far apart. So there is space we can really see. So nothing is solid at the end of the day.
Well, we never say it's solid. We just say it's a self. The problem is not solid or not solid. The problem is we claiming the body to be ourselves. Who is claiming the body to be ourselves? It's the mind, the thinker, the knower. And once it becomes attached, once it becomes connected to this body, it claims the body to be itself. Like people who move from Europe to America, once they're in America, they claim the land to be their land, right? This is my land.
Yeah.
But it's not. They came from Europe, so they go over to America and then they claim America to be their land. See?
So we think we are Canadian, but really not Canadian.
You just claim it. You just claim it. It's not truth.
So it's, the consciousness is claiming as self, like, okay.
Claiming the body as myself.
As self.
As me.
And you said the integration of the body, disintegration when you die, but the consciousness is the element that survives out of the aggregates. That's
right.
Everything else is, but for example, like an inanimate object doesn't have the consciousness. So therefore, that's the difference. They disintegrate.
They're like the body. They're made from the 4 elements. The trees, the plants, everything needs the 4 elements in order for it to exist, to appear.
That's true.
Very clear.
Thank you. Clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante. I have a question. I was listening to the question on Dana and your answer. And I wanted to ask you now, Buddha had said for a Dana to be really of very high meritorious value or be very purified, that the donor has to be morally very good, like a good person. And if the receiver too is at a high level of morality, and then it's the most purified form of dana, right? Like, is that?
It doesn't matter the morality of the receiver or the giver as far as dana is concerned.
Okay.
You can be a thief, and you can, if you give something, you can still receive the result of your giving, which is a feeling of good happiness inside of yourself. So this has nothing to do with morality.
Okay.
When you say
Because
morality, you only means that if you give something to someone who is morally good, then that person will do something good with what you give them. You're supporting good person. See?
Okay.
If you give money to thieves, then you may be supporting the thieves to go do more bad things.
Okay. So Ajaan, so that's why I want to clarify, because I have heard this like at certain Dhamma talks. So there is no sort of, doesn't matter if you give it with 100% good thought and you want the receiver to have it, it's okay. All danas are the same. Like, is it?
Well, it's very difficult to explain. There are many consequences of your dana. The consequence that happens to the giver and the consequence that happens to the receiver is different.
Okay. Okay.
So when you give, the giver feel good.
Yes.
And when the receiver receive, they also feel good. If the gift is something that they can use, can make their life better, for instance.
Okay. Okay. Because I have heard that when who was it? Mahaprajapati Gautami, she wanted to offer a chivara, like a robe, to the Buddha. Buddha kept refusing and asked her to offer it to the Mahasangha.
The Sangha.
Yes.
See, when you give something, you want to support that person.
Yes.
And the Buddha said that supporting an individual is not as good as supporting the community.
Okay.
Because if you support just only one person, when that person dies, then there's nobody to replace him.
Yes.
But if you support the community of Sangha, of many monks, if one monk dies, then there are still other monks that will fill in the place and do the duty of giving Dhamma talk and to you, for instance. So the Buddha says it's better to give to the community than to give to the individual.
Okay. Okay, Ajaan, thank you so much. I just wanted to know. Thank you so much.
All right.
Terwan Saranai.
Okay. We'll go to Penang. Christine Coe.
Good evening, Ajaan. May you be well and happy. I have no question. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Sweden Czech from Vancouver. Czech look different. You don't put on your glasses or something?
No glasses.
What? You broke your glasses?
Just want to say hi to Tan Ajaan before we go to take our course. So this summer,
what course?
For
educating children.
Yeah, educating children.
I see.
Update our knowledge.
You have to refresh your knowledge. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Learn new things
Techniques,
to teach children.
Yeah. And one of it is like mindfulness, Tan Ajaan. So
we teach children to walk on the line. It's like walking meditation. They have to walk very slowly and then walk
Yeah,
the line.
this is training them in mindfulness. See.
Yeah.
So when they become more mindful, then they are more able to do things.
Yeah. And teaching them control of their body first. So
Yeah. Body through the mind. Yeah, we teach mindfulness then for them to control their minds. So once they can control the mind, then they can use the mind to use the body to do things with.
yeah, I think that's what the instructor was saying as well. It's about
Mind is the master. The body is just the servant. The body waits for the mind to tell it what to do. So if the mind knows what it is doing, what it's thinking, then it can manage and select what it should do and what it should not do. See? In order to be able to know this, you need to have mindfulness. To be able to direct your mind to do certain thing or not to do certain thing. If we have no mindfulness, then the mind is like somebody not having any control, so it can just do anything it wants, it feels. Like mindfulness is like a driver, and a car needs a driver to get it, keep it stay on the road. But if there's no driver and the car keep running by itself, I mean the old type of car, not the modern type.
autopilot.
Yeah.
Like Tesla.
Yeah. You know, if the car has no driver, no control, then it can just run off the road. So the mind is like that. Mindfulness is like the controller of the mind. Mindfulness can stop the mind, or can let the mind move or stop. See? The mindfulness can stop thinking or let the thinking continue, or direct the thinking to go think about something, not the emotion. Sometimes people are being driven by the emotion when they don't have mindfulness. If they have mindfulness, then the mindfulness will then guide them.
Is it possible that the driver we have mindfulness, but it's bad, like it could person have mindfulness but they do bad things, but
That's because they don't have wisdom. Okay. So they need both. They need mindfulness to direct the mind and wisdom to tell them which direction the mind should be going. It's like a drunken driver and a non-drunken driver. It's different. A drunken driver has no ability to control the automobile. This is mindfulness when you're drunk. And also to know which way to go is having the wisdom to know when to stop. Like when you get to the traffic light, when you see red or green, for instance. This is wisdom, the work of wisdom will tell the mind when to stop and when not to stop. But the mindfulness is the one that do the stopping or doing the moving of the mind, letting the mind move or let the mind stop. This is the work of mindfulness. While wisdom is the one that tells them where to stop and where not to stop. So you can have mindfulness, but if you have no wisdom, then instead of stopping at the traffic light, when you at red light, you go through the red lights. Because you don't have wisdom, you don't learn the law, you don't know the rule of driving. That when you come to a red light, you have to stop.
Mm. I was more thinking along the line of like a driver driving to a good place, and then another driver also have the skill, but they go to a bad place. They drive to a bad place.
Because they don't know what is good or what is bad. See? That means they lack wisdom. Wisdom will know which is good, which is not good.
Mm.
Like
So
when you,
wisdom is that important, Ajahn.
yes, wisdom is the one that will tell you good and bad, right and wrong. This is the work of wisdom. But mindfulness is the one that controls the action, whether to do the action or not to do the action. This is mindfulness. It's like a braking system and the accelerator of the automobile. While the steering wheel is like the wisdom to steer which direction to go, left or right, or go forward. Which direction is better? This is decided. So mindfulness is just stopping or not stopping the mind or letting the mind continue to do whatever it wants to do. Wisdom tells the mind what is to do and what is not to do, what not to do and what to do. Is wisdom. Do this and you get suffering, then don't do it. Do this and then you get happiness, then you do it. This is the work of wisdom. Okay.
Sorry, Tan Ajahn, may I ask, like, when you go on Pindapata, you sit on a golf cart, like, is it because you have back pain?
Well, see, I cannot walk for a long distance. After I walk for a few, maybe 100 meters, my back starts to become painful. So I usually have to stretch my back. And if I want to continue walking, I have to stop and stretching my back forward and backward. And then I can walk for another 100 meters or so. But walking Winterbat nowadays, I used to walk, and then when I feel painful, I get on the bus and sit for a while to relieve the pain. When the pain disappears, then I continue walking for another stretch. But on days when there are a lot of people who are waiting along the route, so if I get on the bus, then during that part of the route, people will not be able to give food to me.
Oh, I see.
So in order to but this only happen on weekend or on holidays where there are more people. But on normal days like today, I don't ride on the golf cart. I still do walking, and then after my back become painful, I get on the bus and sit for about 5 minutes, and I come down again and walk for another stretch.
Yeah, we only get to see the weekend video, Ajahn. That's why.
Yeah. So now I ride on the golf cart on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and on observance day, one Buddhist holiday. But on working day like today, I walk for a distance, and after my back become painful, I get on the bus and sit for about 5 minutes. Then I walk again for another stretch. Then I get on the bus again. And so I divide the walking stretch into 3 parts, and the sitting on the bus into 2 parts.
Sitting on the butt in the two parts.
When I first start walking my route, I walk for about 200 meters. Then I get on the bus, and then the bus will drive me for another about 200 meters. Then I get off the bus and then I walk for another 200 meters. Then I get on the bus again.
Twice on the bus.
Yeah, twice on the bus and walking 3 stretches.
Another part before go. Yeah.
So it's about 1 kilometer. Ajaan.
The pass is about 1.5 kilometers.
Yeah.
I could walk the whole path, but I have every 100 meters or so I have to stop and stretch my back, and then I walk one.
You know the stretches to relieve it, Ajaan. You know the
I'm not sure what is the word, but coincidentally, the part that when I don't walk, people don't wait for me now because they know this is I'll be on the bus, so people not be there during the path in which I'm on the bus. They move to the path in which I walk. See. These are for regular givers, yeah. But on holidays like weekend we have a lot of non regular givers, and they don't know where I get off of or not. So I decided I better do the whole distance by riding on a golf cart instead. So on the weekend, people who come and doesn't know where I don't walk, then they won't miss me. See.
So they won't get disappointed.
Sometimes they have to drive and follow me afterward. Because we have people like coming from Malaysia, from Indonesia. The other day they came, and they expect to give food to me, and they just happen to be standing on the part where I'm on the bus, so they couldn't give me the food. So when they realize that I am walking down the road, so they drive and go catch me down the road again.
And my friend just went there yesterday to see you, Ajaan.
Your friend, huh?
Yeah, she told me she went to see you.
She didn't mention it to me. Did she see me during the winter bath or?
She always on the Q&A. She doesn't
see.
appear on Zoom, but she does. Yeah. She said she went to pay respect to you during the weekend. So maybe yes, she's one of the Malaysian visitor you're talking about. They want to give food to you.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I won't take much of your time. Thank you, Ajaan.
Thank you,
Okay. Actually, when you give dana, it doesn't matter whether you give to me or give to anybody else. You get the same merit. You get the same benefits. You feel you have sacrificed some of your belonging to someone to give to someone else. This is the thing that you get from giving. You feeling a sense of detachment, not clinging to your possessions. And by not clinging to your possession, it makes you feel good every time you give up something. So it doesn't matter who the receiver is, really, as far as the feeling that you get inside yourself when you give something away. But sometimes people get attached to the person who receive also. They feel that they're giving to someone who they respect, they will feel better, they will feel happier. So they choose the person to give also sometimes.
I totally understand because if I get
that's why the Buddha told his mother, his temple, to give to the Sangha, don't give it to him. But she doesn't want to give to the Sangha because she wants to give to the Buddha because she feels happier giving it to him.
Yeah.
But the Buddha says it's more beneficial if you give to the Sangha because the Sangha can do more work than the Buddha can alone. Because after the Buddha died, then it's the Sangha who will have to take over the Buddha's job. Right? If you don't support the Sangha, then maybe the Sangha will not survive. If you just support just the Buddha.
Oh, yeah. So when we give like you, can we picture that we give to you like our like because we still have attachment to our teacher, like when we give like we feel happier. We picture that giving to Ajahn or the Buddha.
But you have to give it to the other monks also, because the Sangha will continue on when the passing away of an individual like me, then there's somebody else who take my place. Like Luang Ta, when he passed away, and then there's somebody else who take his place. But if you only support Luang Ta, you don't support the other monk, how can the other monks live? Then they all have to disrobe, right? You just give to Luang Ta alone, and you don't give to the other monk.
No, I mean like if we don't get for example on the Pindabada, we miss that route and but we picture that we give to you. Is that is that okay? Just to make ourselves feel better because still have attachment to teacher.
Well, it's just a matter of feeling, really. When you give, you should consider the benefit of your gift. And you give to support something, somebody, like support an organization, support people who's doing good work to continue to be able to continue doing the good work. See? That's really the purpose of giving. Or the other reason is to help someone who's in need. You see that they need, and so you give to them. That's why the Buddha said that if you want to support when I'm sick, you want to support me. But when the other monks sick, you don't support them because it's not me. Then the Buddha said you should support other sick monk because supporting the sick monk is like supporting himself, he said.
That's really meaningful. Yeah, thank you. Like that's really meaningful to think about when we give. Yeah.
You should look at the purpose of giving. What is the purpose of giving? What is the benefit you want to give to the receiver? Sometimes the receiver needs your help, so you give them help. See, sometimes they don't need your help, but they can use your support to continue on doing the good work.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, thank you. That's very meaningful.
Or you want to give to establish a good relationship. This is another purpose. Like you want to keep and maintain a good relationship with someone, so you keep giving something to that someone, right? So that someone will like you, will be happy with you. This is friendship. This is for friendship. So there are many purposes of giving. But the giver get the same result. The giver get the same result. The giver get happiness from giving. And one should not expect anything from the receiver. Even if you want to establish a good relationship, but you don't get a good relationship, if you don't expect, then you won't feel disappointed. But if you expect, then you will feel disappointed. And then you won't feel happy from giving. So when you give, don't expect anything from the receiver.
Okay.
But you have a purpose. But if you find that this doesn't achieve your purpose, then next time don't give. That's all. give to somebody else who can achieve the purpose, your purpose.
Yes, Ajahn.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you,
All
Ajahn.
right. We'll go to our monk. He's a monk now, Dean. Have you been ordained? Deep? Looks like you're in the same robe like I do now. Cannot hear you. You have to speak closer or your voice is soft. Cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You have to come closer.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, better now.
Okay, I'll do it. Yes, Long Po, I have been ordained.
Very hard to understand what you say. Your voice is not clear enough, not loud enough, really. I'm not sure what you're using.
I'm using my mobile phone. Can you hear me? If you can't hear
I can
me
hear you,
clearly,
but it's not audible. It's not. I can hear you, but sometimes I cannot understand what you say. You have to unmute your phone, your microphone. It's muted now, your microphone. Or you turn on the video. Huh? Okay, you're back. You have to unmute your microphone. Please.
Racing.
Well, go to somebody else first. Okay, I'll come back to you later. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. No question from me, just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, Titima from Bangkok. Titima, can you hear me?
นมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์
Okay, what can I do for you?
Today I don't have any question ค่ะ
Okay, just want to listen. Okay, we'll go to Belinda from Singapore.
Hello, Ajaan. No questions for now. Just like
Okay.
to let you know that I'm attending an online retreat with Ajaan Anand's group.
Okay, good. We'll go to Sulan from Singapore. You've been away for a few weeks.
Yes. Hello, Ajahn. Nice to see you today. Yeah, I was away because recently I joined a Buddhist group to celebrate the Madam Wong's 100th birthday. Then it was like conducted in Thailand near Wat Ratanawan Monastery. So there's a group of us that went there. Yeah. Then so that's why I was away because I was overseas. Then I'm back now. So and then today I was late for the session is because I had a meeting after work. So could only join in now. Yeah.
So how was the celebration like?
It's actually like very Buddhist celebration. So the family actually invited quite a number of senior monks under the Ajahn Chah tradition to give their blessings and also chanting and Dhamma talks. Then Belinda was there also. And I think that we met a few sisters who are also followers of you. Yeah. So it's quite inspiring. And then I think Long Po Nanya Dhammo, Long Po Apat, Long Po Gandha, and I think Ajahn Anand, they were there as well. Then the teachers, they were in praise of the Madam Wong's meritorious deeds because
Her generosity.
yes, it's her generosity, and it is very inspiring in the sense that she's like a role model of how a lay person can be supportive of the Sangha, and also to practice, because the teacher said that she actually practiced meditation daily, do chanting daily, practice generosity, and then bringing her family, friends to learn the Dhamma. Yeah, and it's very inspiring also to see the well-practiced monks in person. Like the way they conduct themselves are very inspiring. Then yeah, I managed to bring my parents over as well. Then it was a good opportunity for them to see the teachers up close. Yeah, I hope it helps to plant some seeds also. And the group of us, we also practice generosity in giving dana, like participating in the arms round, Pindapat in the morning. Yeah, actually I wanted to make a visit to you, but then because of some circumstance, so we couldn't really make the visit to you after that trip. Yeah, so it was a little regret, but I hope to visit you in person next time. Yeah.
You're visiting me right now, so what do you need next time?
Oh, I mean in person.
Well,
Yeah.
right now we're in person.
Oh, but somehow it's still different because I cannot see you in person.
You're more close to me now than if you come to me in person, because then I won't have much time because there are other people around.
Oh.
So it's better to come in the Zoom room if you want to be closest to me.
It's true.
And you can ask anything, say anything you want. But normally when I see people, I usually have plenty of people coming at the same time. So I won't have much time to even just to talk to you. Maybe just say hello, that's about it.
That's true. Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn, for enlightening.
So no need to come to see me in person. Come in, see me in Zoom better.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think I experienced that also during that trip, because there were like quite a big group of us. So when we wanted to ask the Ajahns questions, we had to queue up, and then yeah, I think Ajahn didn't have much time for us also.
Yes. Here we have 2 hours, so you have plenty of time. Everybody have plenty of time to ask anything.
Yes, yes.
I think we are blessed by this technology and we don't need to travel anymore.
Yeah, indeed, we are very blessed. Oh yeah, Ajahn, I saw, I was like looking through the Pindapat videos, and I noticed that lately you are for the Pindapat arms round in the morning, you had to sit on the car. Just wanted to ask if you are okay.
Yes, but I have to sit because I cannot walk long distance anymore. After I walk for a while, my back start to get hurt. So I have to stop and rest and then continue on. So someone generous enough bought me a golf cart to ride on. So I ride on the golf cart during the weekend.
Yeah.
But on weekday I still walk and stop and stop and rest on the bus. And then after I feel rested, I walk again.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear that that someone was generous enough to support you in this manner. Yeah.
Yes, they realize that I have problem with my back. But sitting had no problem. I'm sitting here and there's no pain at all. If I sit, there's no pain. But when I stand or walk for a while, it starts to become painful.
That's good to know. Yeah, that you are not in pain now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you have any question? Other question?
I need to think about it if I have any. Yeah, I'll let the rest. Oh yeah, sorry. I wanted to add that just now, when I dialed in, I heard Brother Din. He was trying to speak. So I think what he was trying to say was that he wants to update Ajaan that he has ordained. Yeah.
Yes. I think you might come back later on. I'll check because he might be waiting.
Yes. Okay.
Mm.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Well, not yet. So we'll go to Kudla for question. Oh, here he is. Dean, you're back. Dean, can you hear me? See your picture. Not.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. We'll try it. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but not clear enough. But anyway, we'll try. We'll try to see what happened. Go ahead. Say whatever you want to say.
During sitting meditation, I get into a moment where my attention falls back spontaneously and quite quickly. I don't know what to do with that. It's quite strong, a strong pull backward or downward after I sit for a long time. What do I do with this? Is it useful or not?
When you meditate, whatever happens during meditation, you should ignore them. Treat them as anicca, anatta. Treat them like phenomena, not under your control. And the reason why they happen because your mindfulness is not strong enough. So focus on your mindfulness. Keep watching your breath or keep reciting the mantra. Don't worry about the other thing that appear during meditation. Ignore everything. Okay? And try to be more mindful by reciting the mantra. Keep watching your breath.
One more question I got.
Okay, go ahead.
I started doing walking meditation on a path, long time. He asked me to walk there. And it's a long path. So I walk at night with no light. It's been very helpful. I wonder whether I should do that more or be in a seated position more.
It depends. It depends on whether you feel more under control. If you can control your mind better by walking, then you can do walking more than sitting. Sometimes you get better mindfulness when you do walking meditation than sitting. Then do more walking than sitting.
The walking meditation, it seems like I get into a deeper state of trance when my body is walking quite dark. That I can walk. And I use boot and to slow down to the speed of breathing. And then the hour can pass quite fast. My experience the past 2 days, and it's never been so deep before. So I want to ask, I should pursue this walking meditation.
Whichever method is useful to you, you choose that method. Okay. If you find walking better than sitting, then you do walking. Walk until you cannot walk, then you sit. Okay, I cannot. It's very difficult for me to understand what you're saying. Okay, I'm sorry. Your sound is not good enough.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Never mind. I will keep practicing.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll go to Lana for a question from Facebook or YouTube or email.
Yes, there are 3 questions from email name Assistant Ajaan Suchart, and 2 questions from Facebook and 2 questions from YouTube. The first question is from Sam from Sydney. When I am working in the office, I need to read, write, speak, and listen a lot. It seems like these activities require a lot of thinking. Is it still possible to do these things mindfully? If it is possible, then what should be the objects of mindfulness when we need to read, write, speak, and listen during our workday? How can we be more mindful while we are at work in an office? Thank you.
Well, see, there are 2 types of mindfulness. Mindfulness with thinking and mindfulness without thinking. For meditation, we need mindfulness without thinking. And in order to practice mindfulness without thinking, you must do it on your day when you don't have to do any work. Like when you are living in a monastery, then there's not much work for you to think. So you can do mindfulness without thinking. But if you work in the working world, then you have to be mindful and also think at the same time with what you do. So this is not the type of mindfulness that is good for meditation. We want to practice mindfulness without thinking, with as little as thinking as possible. So like if your life in monastery doesn't do much, when you do, there isn't much to think about. When you sweep, when you eat, when you do chores, you don't need to do much thinking. So you can practice this type of mindfulness without thinking. But if you work, then you have to be mindful of what you do, and also you have to think about what you do also. So this is different type of mindfulness. Second question.
There are 2 questions from Samanji from Sri Lanka. The first question is, does Buddhism give significance to sleep? Did the Buddha consider the sleeping hours a waste of time? According to modern science, sleep is essential for health and 7 to 8 hours of sleep is recommended. Could you elaborate on Buddha's stance on sleep and its importance? As per Buddhist writings, the Buddha had slept less than 3 hours a day. Could you explain? Thank you.
Well, the Buddha recommend monks to sleep about 4 hours a night. Like from 6 to 10 p.m., monks should be doing walking or sitting meditation. Then from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., monks should take a rest and sleep. And after 2 a.m., monks should get up and do more walking and sitting meditation until 6 a.m. Then it's time to go on alms round. So yes, sleep is essential. The body needs sleep, but it doesn't need 7 or 8 hours like people in the world do. For people who meditate, 4 hours a night is good enough.
And second questions from Samanji. Are post-bereavement hallucinations and voices possible or real? I have often heard people telling that they are undergone this experience soon after the death of a relative. Can this happen? Thank you.
Many things can happen in the mind, and the way to deal with them is to ignore them or to treat them as natural phenomena. Treat them as anicca, anatta. They come and go. And there's nothing you can stop or prevent them. If they come, let them come. If they go, let them go. And don't give them any importance. You know, they are just phenomena that come and go.
Next question from Lee Tek Hua. Hi, Tanajan. Are anger, hatred, and ill will the same? What about irritation? Thank you.
I think they are similar. They makes your mind, they makes the mind unhappy.
Next two questions from Nana. Please, Luang Por, advise what is the meaning of Tudong?
Tudong is the word from Pali called Dutanga. Pali is pronounced Dutanga, but in Thailand we shorten it to Tudong. There are practices translated as austere practices, meaning to live in to eat, to live in an austere way. There are 13 of them. You have to search them in the Google for answer. I cannot explain here now.
And the second question from Nana is, what are Tudong monks and characteristic of Tudong monks? Thank you very much.
Well, Tudong monks are monks who practice the Dutanga practice or austere practices, like eating once a day, going on alms round, and living in the forest. These are practices by Dutanga monks.
Next questions from Lian Painon from USA. Sukhi Hontu Ajaan, what is your recommendations for Western who wants to learn and know about Buddhism? Does it start with book about Buddhism or taking to Buddhist monastic? Anumodana.
Yes, you should start reading first. It depends on what type of Buddhism you want to study, because there are many different branches. We have Theravada, we have Mahayana, and in Theravada we also have Thai forest tradition. So it's up to you what you want to which type of tradition you want to study. You can search in Google for this information. First, you need to study first before you can then go to the next step, which is do the practice.
And last questions. Namaskaran Phra Ajaan and Katsita with my daughter Peppa. The last time we were in line waiting to ask you a question, then her father showed up and asked me why I let Peppa, who is 6 years old, listen to others' Q&A. Can I ask your opinion about this? Thank you.
About what?
About her father showed up and asked why her let Peppa, who is 6 years old, listen to your talk about Q&A.
Well, there's nothing wrong with Dhamma. Dhamma is good for every ages. So, I have in my Thai Zoom room, I have young boys coming in and listen and asking questions. Because the mind is not old or young, it's only the body that is old or young. But our mind all have the same age. Our mind is ageless. So maybe the mind of younger boy might be more mature than the mind of older people.
That is all. Thank you.
Okay. We have some more time left. If anybody would like, okay, Lillian, I think you raise your hand.
My son wants to ask questions.
Okay.
Go.
It's like soldiers kill people to save people. Is that bad or good?
It's bad karma. So
we'll get the karma back next life.
Yes, he will get the consequence of bad karma from killing.
But I think he's asking, they in a way, are they doing a good deed because they are killing for the country, or it doesn't matter?
Well, killing is killing. Well, doesn't matter what good deeds it does, but from killing it's still considered bad karma.
It's killing
Like
anyway.
if we are meditating and then like there's our nose is stuck with mucus, what do? Can we breathe through our mouth?
You just need breathe normally, not just like right now. What you usually breathe through your nose, but if you cannot use your breathing as your meditation object, then you should switch to the mantra Bhutto Bhutto, recite the Bhutto Bhutto and stay.
Just recite the mantra.
What is a mantra?
Bhutto.
Just a word, just recite the word Bhutto Bhutto Bhutto. Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, thank you first.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alvin, I think Alvin, yeah, you raise your hand.
Ajaan, just want to check if one practice no solid after noon, eating solid, can one still take? I know I think Ajaan mentioned before no Milo because Milo is got milk. What about just pure cocoa? Can, right? Can one take pure cocoa?
Take what? And you cannot.
Can take pure cocoa drink after?
Pure cocoa.
Yes. No. I think you said Milo no before, right? Because
Yes,
Milo
because
is not milk.
Milo is mixed with some malt and with some milk, I think. So malt or milk is considered to be food. But if cocoa alone is considered to be medicine.
Oh, okay. It has to be pure cocoa, right?
Yeah, pure cocoa, and you can mix with sugar but no milk or cream.
Okay. All right. Thanks. That's all.
Okay. Kunla, you have more question?
Yes, one more questions from Nana. Can Tudong monk keep money? Thank you.
Money a monk cannot keep by themselves. It has to be kept by someone trusted, like someone who the monk can trust, a lay person to keep the money, because the Buddha don't allow monk to keep the money and spend the money himself. If the monk wants something, then the monk will have to ask the person that keep the money to go get the thing for the monk. Monk not supposed to go shopping, buying things by themselves. Okay, PR.
A question about when you say, when you see you only see, I think you touched on that earlier. Ditte ditta matang. When you hear, you only hear. Sute sutta matang. So these are like kind of practice techniques. I mean, you have to have some form of equanimity, because otherwise you can, in ordinary day-to-day life, you cannot practice it, because you need to look. Say, if I see something, I need to look. I can't just see, okay, ignore and go. But it's a practice of insight, right?
Yes, I think this is something the Buddha taught someone who already had jhana.
Jhana.
Someone who
So
already had equanimity already, but
Okay,
don't know how
yes.
to apply equanimity properly.
I see. So he came and he got stuck Bahya Daruchira.
That's
and
right.
Also,
He didn't know what to do
Mahamalika.
next, so he asked the Buddha what to do.
What to do next? Yeah, I think it was also given the same teaching to Mahamalika, another monk, elderly monk. He wants a short teaching, but he refused at the beginning. He said, okay, I'll give it to you anyway. So this is the teaching, the exact same teaching. It's interesting how we always keep looking, because we are looking for, we see and then we look for certain features, and then that's a sensuality, right? It drives us to, if you see a rose, I can't just see it only. I want to look at whether it smells, whether it's look colorful, keep going, right? That's our sensuality, driven by our sensuality, right? That's where we cling.
Yes, we use sankhara as soon as we see or hear something. We cannot just keep sankhara, leave sankhara alone. Sankhara start to think about good or bad, like or not like, and what should I do? with what I see, what I hear,
Mm.
or react happily or sadly to what you see or hear. But
Mm.
if you have equanimity, then you don't have to react at all.
But that equanimity is passed on to by like meditation. Yes, I understand. But in your day-to-day life, it'll be passed on to general activity. So you don't cling that strong as before. I guess that's when you know its equanimity is working.
Yes, if you don't cling, if you leave things alone, then it means you have equanimity.
Thank you so much.
Okay. It just depends on how much you can let go. Sometimes you let go half of it only, not all of it.
So true. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
It depends on your equanimity, whether you have 50% equanimity or you have 100% equanimity. Okay, Philip from Malaysia.
Ajaan, you mentioned just now. I know the fifth. I mean the precepts. Killing is killing. What about in the case where if you're in a legal system or if you're a judge and you preside over a particular case, which is the land of the law, the law of the land.
Same thing. There's no justification for killing, but the consequence might be stronger or weaker. Depends on the situation.
Okay, so even as a judge, you can't recluse. I mean, you can't recluse yourself, right?
Yeah, if you don't want to be involved with killing, then you have to recluse yourself when we have to deal with cases in which you have death punishment.
Okay. Thank you, Ajaan.
Just like in the state, they have conscientious objector. They would not want to be soldier, When they're drafted, they can claim conscientious objection. So they can be excused.
Understand.
Okay, Julia. Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
About the dana again. So you said you should not be worried about what the person receiving is doing, but on the other hand, we should kind of give in season and give something that we think that the receiver will appreciate. So in that sense, we might have to observe what happens with the gift so that we can develop our generosity and give better the next time.
Yes, you can observe, but make sure that you don't become attached to your observing. You don't make whatever the receiver do to your gift cause you to feel any sadness or disappointment. You give because you consider this is the best gift that you can give to the receiver. Whether the receiver will appreciate it or can use it or not, you can watch and you can follow, but you should not have any emotional reaction to whatever the receiver will do to what you give.
Thank you.
You can observe logically, not with emotion. Like, if the receiver use what you give, then you feel happy, But if the receiver doesn't use what you give and give away to somebody else, then you feel sad. Then this is not the way to observe. You just observe it. So if this is the thing that the receiver doesn't use, maybe next time you find something different that the receiver can use. But you should not be emotionally involved with your observation. Okay, because you want to make your gift useful, right? But sometimes you don't know whether it's useful or not, so you have to follow, to observe whether it can be useful to the receiver or not. If you find this thing is not useful, but then maybe next time you give something else. But you should not be happy or sad when you give, whether it's useful or not useful. Because if
That's clear.
you become unhappy or happy, it means sometimes it means you become emotionally involved, attached to what you give.
And it doesn't change the karma either if it's used or not. It's like perhaps it's just good karma if you use that logical way of giving better.
Yes, the main purpose of giving is to let go of your attachment to your possession. That's the main goal of giving. You don't want to be attached to your extra money that you have that you don't need, so you give it away. This is the main goal, to let go of your attachment to things that you don't really need.
Okay, thank you.
Because if you're still attached to things, then it can cause you worry, anxiety, because you want to protect things that you're still attached to. But if you give it away, then there's no need to worry about that thing anymore once you give it away. So that's really the main purpose of giving, for your own benefit, the benefit that you get. But you also have to consider the benefit of the receiver, whether the thing that you want to get rid of be useful to the receiver or not. If this receiver is not useful to this receiver, then you might have to find another receiver. Like you have an old car, you want to give it away, So you want to give someone who needs a car, who doesn't have one. You don't want to give to somebody who already had a car, for instance. But the main purpose is to get rid of the car, so that you don't have to be bothered by still having the car that you still have to look after. Okay. All right, Philip again. We'll go to you later, Sulan. We'll go to Philip.
Dear Tanajan, it's me, Adeline. I have a question. In regards to pujas and chanting, let's say if the person is sick and everybody like chant as a family and the person either get well or get worse, I just want to get your point of view about this, Tanajan.
Chanting has no effect on the sickness. The sickness, it depends on the medicine or the condition of the body.
So if the person actually recovers, then it's actually the body overcoming it on its own, right?
That's right.
So it has nothing to do so much so on the pujas or the chanting that we do every day.
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. All right. I just want to get.
If chanting can affect the health of the body, then we don't have to do anything. Just keep chanting. We'll live forever.
Right. That's right. Okay.
Okay. Go to Sulan.
Yeah, hello Ajaan. Yeah, I've got my questions ready. Yeah. So my first question is on the chanting. So I think during the trip, right, there were a few chanting sessions where the monks actually led the chanting. Then so during the chanting itself, I think there's like there's the chanting of many different chanting. So actually I'm not too sure what's the sequence of like the chanting, because sometimes it's here, then it jumps to there. Then then I accidentally fell asleep in one of the sessions. Then I think my question is like, during chanting itself, like if we don't know what is being chanted, are we supposed to just meditate on our own, or we just try our best to chant? Yeah. Because I think
See, the purpose of chanting is to develop mindfulness, to steer your mind away from thinking about things that can cause you worry and anxiety. So when you have worry or anxiety, you do chanting. When you do chanting, then your worry and anxiety will not be able to come up, because you have to do the chanting instead of thinking about things that make you worry. So that's the purpose of chanting. And when monks do the chanting for you, it means that the monk is just setting an example, it's teaching you that you should learn to chant like monks. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Because if you know how to chant like monks, then you have a certain amount of mindfulness to deal with your emotional problem. When you feel sad or have worry or anxiety, you do chanting. But you have to do long chanting, like half an hour or 1 hour. Then your worry and anxiety will disappear. So actually, monk, when they do chanting, they're just demonstrating to you how to chant.
Oh, okay.
So then you can then follow the example. When you go home, you go do chanting. Keep practicing chanting every day. So you can use it when you feel sad or you feel lonely or you feel worried. And you can use chanting to get rid of these feelings.
Yes. Oh, that's very enlightening because when I was there in person at the ceremonies, when the chanting was going on, then I look around, I saw like most people, they are closing their eyes. So I was wondering, should I meditate like and focus on Buddha, or just listen to the chant, or try to like
You can follow the chant without chanting yourself. Focus on listening to the chant, even though you don't understand what they're chanting. If you can keep your mind with the chanting, then you cannot go think about other things. That's all the purpose. The purpose is to keep your mind focused on something so that it cannot go and think about other things that can cause your mind to be emotional. It's a way of calming your mind. But it's better to do the chanting yourself. Monk really don't need to chant at all. Chanting is an individual practice. You chant for yourself, not for other people. But lay people thought the monk is giving blessing to lay people when they chant. They're not giving any blessing at all. Blessing, the lay people get blessing from their generosity, from the giving. When you do dana, you already have the blessing, without the need to have monk to do the chanting to give you the blessing. Blessing cannot be given; it has to be earned by yourself, by your own action. When you keep the sila, you get blessing. When you give dana, you get blessing. When you meditate, you get blessing. It's not something. When I meditate, I cannot give you the blessing I get. It's mine. I cannot share with you.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. I think we all run out of time now. You have any more questions? Do you have any more questions, Sulan?
Yeah, my second question.
Okay.
My question was that is it that for us, because our minds are untrained, that's why we have to restrain our senses, and then as compared to well-practiced monk or like who reaches the enlightenment roots, is it for them that they don't need to restrain anymore? It's already part of them. So
if you're fully enlightened, then you don't need to. But if you're still not fully enlightened, then you still have to restrain the part that can cause you dukkha. The part that no longer cause you dukkha, then you don't have to restrain.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's about it for tonight. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting can give you more information and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Satu.
Thank you,
everyone.
Everyone, Saturday.
Thank you, Kang Ajaan.
Thank you, Kang Ajaan.
Sadhu.
Thank you, Amin. Thank you, boy.
Thank you, Ami. Thank you.
Bye.